Hi, Luminaires. How is everybody doing this fine day? If you are new here and you're just surfing through, hi, my name's Jamie Butler. I'm the Everyday Medium, and it is my joy, my passion, just everything that I love to help people wake up to their natural intuitive abilities. You can call it intuition, psychic abilities, anything of that nature, your clairs. But I feel that this is an innate, natural ability that we all have, and I like to talk about it in a very common, everyday way. And hi, Luminaires. I see you out there. Happy day. Arizona showing up. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Dan. All right, if you join me with the lives, please take the time to put your fingers to the keyboard and let me know some of your comments about the content that we're going to talk about, which is this full moon coming up. May, and this May energy. May 12th, full moon, Scorpio energy, intense. Intense. Oh, we got a lot of Arizona showing up. Yay. I know some of you Luminaires were just joining me for our YouTube membership monthly meditation that we just did about stability and grounding, and it was all about linking your energy to the trees. It was so beautiful. I'm very honored you guys let me do my work this way. Absolutely love it. And if you are looking for somebody to join and do your work, whether that is telepathy or meditation, we've got some retreats coming up, like in Taos. Our Taos retreat is based on the non-spoken language of telepathy, and it is in two parts. First 21 days is remote online. You can do this daily at your own pace. And then we get together in Taos for 5-day intensive breath work, sound therapy, and a lot of wonderful exercises in telepathy. Also, we'll take some time to tour around Taos. And then, if you're into meditation, we're headed over to Tanzania for an African safari, 10 days through the Serengeti. And throughout, we will be meeting local tribes, Hutsu, Maasai tribe, and learning from their ways and meditating on the land throughout. So if this is something that sparks you, please come join us. And if you're around later today, actually after this live, and you would like to work with some Archangel energy, especially Chemuel, which I haven't worked with before, and I'm learning how to do that. Got some lights turning off here in the studio. And I'm really enjoying this Chemuel energy, this pink love, divine light support. So beautiful. So we have this Archangel series, and it highlights 3 archangels. Last week, Gabriel. Didn't know, but so far, if you're allowed to have favorites, it's kind of like children. Do you really have a favorite? Can you? I'm really vibing on Gabriel. Now Chemuel's coming in, so I'm ready. I'm open to learn. So you can join our series over on Learn It Live if you would like. But for right now, let's talk about that full moon. Are you guys bracing? Are you bracing for it? Because if you're feeling a little like stirred up, restless, a little bit more emotional, or like really looking inward, deeply introspective, and you can't look up and look at anybody else's stuff, or if somebody else is coming by and just wanting to drop stuff on you, and you're like, no, 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 no. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You're not alone. This is that Scorpio full moon energy, which they call the flower moon. It's such a sweet name for such a punch that this Luna is about to pack onto us. So it's kind of funny. So this Scorpio moon likes to kind of shine her light on the deepest aspects of our emotions. Think of it like your internal emotional ocean is about to come to the surface. And it's not something to worry about. It's not something to course correct or fix or to have any kind of fear over. It's really something to stay present for and to really honor. If you're already on your spiritual path and you've been there for, years, or you consider yourself a little bit more advanced, this is a really good time to catapult. Okay. For those of you who are just beginning and you're like, consider yourself a newbie, which in some areas of this, I still consider myself a newbie even after 34 years of having this as a solid career. There are still some aspects of it. I'm like, whew, Like astrologically speaking, I still feel a little bit like a newbie. But if you're at the beginning of this and you're coming into this full moon energy, this is a wonderful time to release and drop aside some of those old indoctrinated belief systems, the ones that are maybe anchoring you into staying the same, the 3D, that you don't even know to think about because they're just so normalized and so much part of your daily routine, you're not bringing it to the surface. This is what Scorpio full moon can do for you. So, the Scorpio energy isn't it's not like lotion. It doesn't just skim the surface. It's not like, "Oh, look at that, the surface." Scorpio energy is like, let me penetrate that for you. Let me dive beneath that area that you haven't been able to reach before. Let me grab that grief or suffering or those emotions that you thought you tucked away, that you couldn't name, that you didn't really want to fear, that you didn't want to express for worry of being labeled, being judged, being whatever, or those truths that we know that are truths to us, but we don't want to give them or share them with anybody else. And so we stay in silence. Scorpio is like, please let me be your friend, and I will do that work for you. So, whether you are saying hell yes to this kind of purge and lift, or a little bit of hesitancy, she's going to treat you the same, right? She's not going to judge you. She's not going to do that. And she's going to just pull it forward and pop it out for you. Scorpio rules the realm of death, rebirth, intimacy, and power. Just settle that one in. So when the Scorpio energy is infused with a full moon, it's not to overwhelm us, it's not to drown us, but it's more to give us the opportunity to spread out what we maybe don't know how to look at so that we can wade through it and see it clearly. She goes deep, she pulls it out and goes, learn from this, see this. So if you, like we're talking on a Friday before the Monday full moon, sensitives, you were feeling it a few days ago. This weekend is going to be hot to trot for you. And this is going to feel a little bit like a spiraling energy or purge or pull. Since Scorpio is water, the moon is also in alignment with, well, water amplifies emotions. Moon is in alignment with ocean, emotions. Ocean emotion. I want to talk about those emotions. So, how can we engage with those emotions without feeling like we have to manage them or lock them down again? I mean, this is also a time of year we get once a year of this kind of big exposing and this big like purge. So, let's take advantage of it. I see that Andrew is writing, the more the more you the more you learn, the more you know, the more you learn, the more you know, yeah, you only extends into the horizon you didn't know existed, and more lessons to learn as the horizon constantly expands with always more to learn. Life. My dad used to say it, Andrew, in a slightly different tweak. Actually, he still says it. It's not a used to, it's not a past tense. When you stop learning, you stop living. That guy is always out there collecting something new, which is great. So when we talk about getting in tune with emotions for this full moon, like you don't need to be, we use the term woo woo. I like to say it's not woo woo, it's true, true. But woo woo has a stigma, a little bit hippie, a little bit extravagant, a little bit eclectic, more spiritual, more psychic, more of a healer. Like you don't need to be any of these things to get attuned with your emotions. So please don't feel like you need to adapt to anything to get more deep. You just need what I will call two things. Number one, to feel honestly. Feelings are in the body. Feelings are not emotions. Clarity moment. Feelings are what happens to the physical body: hot, cold, goosebumps, racing heart, um, shallow breath, congested sinuses, which you might hear in me today. But feelings are that. And can we observe ourselves honestly? like without overlooking at it. And some of you guys do this without even know you're doing it. Like some of you might have to use the bathroom right now, but you're not doing it. You're like, your body is like, I need something. And you're like, my feeling is my bladder is full. I must alleviate my bladder, but you don't do it right away. Why? Why are you overriding it? So, a willingness to feel honestly. And next, number two, compassionately witness what arises. Often, when we can tap into what we feel in our body, we get to our emotion. The emotion arises, and we can compassionately witness what arises, which means to be a very clear, neutral observer. If compassionately witness doesn't work for you, think about it like neutral observer, or think about it like video camera. What is a camera filming on you, and what would a camera report without labels, without judgments, without assessments, comparisons, none of that stuff. Like unzip, drop out of that. Phew. I'm good. I'm glad that my assistant and Luminaire Amora knows more about my astrology signs than I do. I saw that you asked what my sign was or something, and I don't know what it is. I know I'm Aquarius. That's my sun sign. And my sun is in my fifth house, I think is correct. But I don't know anything else. So thank you, Colleen, for doing that. That's kind of funny. Okay, now when we have those two things, which is the to feel honestly, to neutrally observe what arises after that, then this is what we can do. Sit with the emotion, not the story. Once the emotion arises, I don't need you taking your mental body and getting all in there and trying to explain why you felt that way. Like because you are have the right to feel that way. And this is, none of that. Colleen sharing we're friends on Pattern, so that's how she knows stuff. I like this app, Pattern app. So this first step, sit with the emotion, name it. Name it. And you might not know what emotion it is. You might have to weed a few emotions apart because some of us take nervousness and excitement and push them together, and then we just call it nervousness. But actually, there's a strong element of excitement in there. So, can we pull them apart and say, I am nervous and excited? So, let's just sit with it, see what arises, name it. Rather than saying why it's there or whose fault it is for me having this emotion, place your hand. I like to place my right hand on my heart. My heart's energy, all of our heart's energy, has a negative current, spins counterclockwise. Negative does not mean bad in this case. Negative means a little fluid. Energy that comes from the right side of your body is a positive current. So if we take positive and negative and link them together, we can create a balancing if it's out of balance. Place your hand on your chest. I like to touch my chest. Some of you really enjoy tapping into the belly, so you can put your hand on the belly as well. You can put both of them. It's just anchor in to the center line. Put your hand there and just ask. Well, you don't have to ask. You can stay. I see you. So you're talking to yourself, talking to the emotion that you're having. I see you. You're allowed to be here. Because sometimes the old indoctrinated story that I was kind of sharing a little bit about before has taught you that you can't have certain emotions because they're not valued or because they were difficult and we needed you to conform. So we've trained you to avoid those emotions so you're more compliable. So some emotions you have will rattle your cage because old version of you is like, shit, 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 shit. We're not supposed to have this. New version of you is like, I love you, I hold you, I want you to be here, but there's, a force between it. And Scorpio moon is like, I'm ready to have that conversation. Let's pull that forward, please. We're just going to go deep in and get you out. So here that is. I see you. You're allowed to be here. Name it. And then let the emotion speak. Let the emotion speak, not the story. not the narrative of why you think it's there, not the mental story that you've collected, but like let the emotion speak. And you'll notice when the emotion starts to speak to you, there might be a few things you notice, but here's a few things that I like to highlight. Your body will soften, you'll drop into it. It's really sweet. It's like if there's chronic pain or discomfort, it just kind of goes away for this moment. That's when you know you're in on the path, in the right vibe, in the conversation. And also, the emotion might present itself in the voice of when it was last tended to. So maybe you were really young. And so when the voice comes forward, it feels like a kid's voice. Go with it. You don't need to narrate the story. You don't need to talk about it like that. Just go with it. So, first, we name it. Then we want to do something around when we're engaging with these emotions, we want to move it and ground it. And moving and grounding are actually two action words. Grounding is an action word. So, some of the things that you can do will work with both at the same time. And Scorpio is a water sign, moon, emotions, water, all of this. Come on, the moon like pulls the oceans higher and lower. It's just insane. So, with this, water, 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 water. Get in the water. Sit next to the ocean, next to the river. Jump into the lake if it's safe. Take a bath. Take a longer shower. If you're choosing to take a bath, I would say let's do it with some Epsom salt. Let's now watch Epsom salt market kind of go up because everybody this weekend is like, Scorpio full moon, Epsom salt. Take a bath, take a bath, take a bath. If you don't like Epsom salt, you can use some herbs like lavender, mugwort, rosemary. You don't need a lot of it. Think about infusing, you want to dilute these in the water and then be able to stay and soak in the water. If you're not a bath person, you can take a glass of water and instead of just pounding it down because you're thirsty or you have this belief system of, I need to get X amount of ounces into my body every day, and you're just pushing it back, instead of doing that, drink slowly. People might think that you've stopped in time. They're like, what's wrong with this person drinking water so slow? But drink it really slow. Like every sip is the biggest blessing that you could ever imagine. Like your lips are touching God source, all that is. If you have a religious belief system, name your God, your goddess, and that's what this water is holding for you, as if it is this holy water. Use it as a ritual. And then you can just speak to it as it comes to you. As this water enters me, I welcome release. I welcome renewal. Take a sip. This might be something you carry around all day. This would be a great thing to do all day on Monday. As this water enters me, I release. I welcome renewal. Yes, Amora, if you've got frozen lake, glacier, or still water, lake, bath, any water, fixed water, fluid water, we're in it. Even if water is still, like lake water or water in a glass, bath water, still water. Shower is almost like river water, ocean water, has a movement to it. This water still amplifies energy. It's like a clear quartz will amplify energy. And this water is working with emotions. And what we want to do is work with Scorpio, who's going to dig deep and pull out our emotions, and this full moon that's like a big flashlight onto your deepest, darkest soul and corners of your life. We want to say, I'm going to agree to this instead of trying to fight it or hide through it. Scorpio is fixed. Oh, that is good energy to know. See, I told you, I feel like a newbie when it comes to astrology. Dear Land AB, I've been setting the intention to instill the highest frequency of water and love into my water daily. I love this. I know you can take your water bottle and write all kinds of words and incantations on it. I do this with my shampoos and things of that nature. I take a Sharpie and write all over it. So, this taking a bath or consuming water consciously, this is part of moving, and it's also going to be a part of grounding. Something else that you can do if you're not really into the water expression, but if you're deep into water and you have not read Emoto's book, that is something that would be wonderful for you to do. Or if you want to do your own experiments on how water experiences your light body energy or even dream state, you can take small, shallow plates or petri dishes, fill it with water, go to sleep, take that water afterwards, freeze it, and then observe what patterns show up. Commonly, the water will present the pattern of whatever you were dreaming about that night. There's all fun, beautiful things. Water is alive, so much alive. But if that's not your jam, you can write it out. Yes, let the full moon be your mirror. Let it shine upon you. And I want you to write what you're afraid to say, whether that is you're afraid to say it to yourself because you don't want to admit it, or whether you're afraid to say it to somebody else. Write these letters, but you don't got to send it, guys. Don't send it. But write it out. Get it out of you. That's what this full moon wants. It's like bring it to the surface, get it out. Get it out, get it out. If not delivering to the source, if delivering to the source is too much for you, at least get it out. Put it on paper. Let your pen voice and say what the ego tends to censor when you're in communication or in relationship. You know, the ego that just goes, I don't want anybody to know that about me. That might make me look weak or weird or this. And out come the labels and out comes the judgments. So you ask yourself when you are writing this down, what am I ready to release? Like, what am I really ready to let go of? You might be surprised. Some things you think you're ready to let go of because collectively everybody around you goes, you got to let go of that. And you're like, yeah, 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 I got to let go of it. And you go to let go of it and you're like, I'm not ready. That's okay. Your timing is your timing. Don't worry about it. But whatever you release, I want you to then ask, what power am I reclaiming? It's kind of like if you're taking something out, you want to be able to give something back into its place. So it's not just about releasing everything and not filling it back in. We're not making Swiss cheese here. I love the chat thread, you guys. Keep it up. Third question that you could follow up with is, what am I grieving that's still inside of me? You might not be aware of it because you might be so freaking talented on pushing down and covering up and seeming okay to others. I'm super talented at that. I just want to let you know. And when years and years ago, so 20 years ago, when I got a counselor, life coach, it was a life coach. I was like, I don't really need this. Like, I'm pretty solid. And that life coach was so good. Like, after 2 years of showing me how I can cover up and push down and make it seem okay when it's not, and that's not so healthy. So to redevelop my muscles in doing this. So what am I grieving that still like lives inside of me? You don't have to do any of this alone. If you do have a spiritual or religious path that you follow, invite your God source in, say the prayers, say the mantras, invite your spirit team in, whomever it is, if it's higher self, Buddha, Krishna, God, Jesus, whomever it is, call them in. Just ask because we're so in the middle of our life. Sometimes it's difficult to rise above it to see what we don't see. So you just ask them, show me what I'm ready to see. If you don't have this directive, become a lunatic. a person who follows the moon, worships the moon, and just say, hey, moon, full moon, especially because bright light, flashlight, deep into things, show me what I'm ready to see. Hold me while I remember who I am. Because sometimes we can hear the information, we can see it, but then it might rattle us so much, we can't keep it, we can't hold it. That's kind of like those incredible aha moments. I know the answer to life and everything that is. And then all of a sudden you're like, 3 days later, I can't remember a single thing. I don't even know why I was so happy about that message. Just don't know. We can't hold it. So ask, hold me while I remember who I am. Get them to stay with you. You don't have to do this alone. I've witnessed the most profound healings, deep healings occur not from somebody forcing their way through and being diligent and persistent and with muscle, but the most impactful, deep healings has been from surrender, or I like the word acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean approval, it's different, but like the surrender, the acceptance, the letting it move through you in a way. So you don't need the force. Then, while you're into all of this, remembering that the Scorpio teaches us that not everything needs to be fixed right now, but do bring it out. Do bring it out. So that some things need to die off in their own time. Some things will be released in their own time. Just like we were saying, you might think you're ready to release something and then you get there and you're like, no, 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 no. I want to keep my passy. I want to keep my lovely, my fluffy, whatever they're called these days. No, I'm not ready. So you're not ready. It's fine. Things will transition in their own time. It's okay. You can let yourself be in the cocoon, the mystery, the not yet. But this energy that's here, you can acknowledge that even here in the unknown, in the mystery, in the not yet, even in the I'm aware of it, but I'm not ready for it, that spot, you're still growing. You're growing leaps and bounds. So please don't fall back to some indoctrinated lesson that has been told to you that if you're not visibly taking action on what's going on, that you're not doing anything and therefore it's null and void and nothing's happening. It's not true. The acknowledgement of what is happening supports so much growth. Like even Darcy Turner is like, yes, I feel like I'm being pushed out of the nest, but I'm not ready yet. Stay in your nest, Darcy. Oh, the spiritual gifts from this Scorpio full moon is really about the purge. And she's going to do this for some of us really sudden, very quick, like ripping the band-aid off. And if it's happening that way, it's meant to be that way. She's going to enjoy endings, closing things up for you, pulling out those belief systems that don't work and pack them up, send them on their way, get some kind of spiritual U-Haul and just bring them out. But she's definitely this energy that's coming that you're already feeling that's going to hit us intensely on Monday and it's going to linger for several more days. It's not here to punish. It's not here to point fingers. It's not here to tell you you're moving too fast, too slow, too this. It's not going to throw you any shade, any labels, nothing like that. In fact, it's so bright, there's not going to be any shade whatsoever. She's absolutely here, this energy to clean, to purify, to pull it out, to pull it up, to show you that what you're carrying doesn't serve you anymore, or possibly what you're carrying doesn't serve you anymore. And you can turn it into, or alchemize it, turn it into strength, clarity, your truth, instead of sticking in the vicious cycle. And it's not about becoming somebody new overnight. It's not like that. It's not like speed growth, but it can catapult you. I mean, just releasing one old belief system can catapult you into a whole new grounding and place where you will be. It's just incredible. What it's about is remembering who you've always been beneath the wounds, beneath those belief systems that don't work, beneath the indoctrinated lessons and patterns and the old stuff that you have that doesn't work or fit anymore. It's remembering authentic you. So, recapping, full circle, full moon, name it, name it, touch into it, let it speak to you. Not the story, not the narrative, let it speak to you. Move it and ground it. Move it and ground it can be the same energy, like Epsom bath salt. You're moving the energy out of you, you're grounding it as you're there, or drinking the water, or writing it out. What am I ready to release? What power am I going to bring in to replace it? And then identifying what am I grieving that still lives inside of me? Learning, that's a deep learning. Remembering you don't have to do this alone. Call on your spirit team. And if you're calling on them, ask them what you want to ask, but then add in there, hold me while I remember who I am. Stay with me as I do this remembering. Because as you're staying here, you're witnessing me. That's going to help me anchor this energy a little bit more. So when I come back to it a day later, or 2 hours later, or 2 weeks later, I'm going to be familiar with this because you were here with me when I found it and I pulled it out. Then honor anything that you're stuck in between because you are still growing. Even if you think it's a yes, but you can't budge, or you got these goals and they're not manifesting, or you feel like you're in mystery, even in the unknown, I am growing. So let that take place. Just know that the gift is all about highlighting, but it does have a little bit of speed. So let's use the speed. Bring it up, pull it out. And this year of 2025 is so asking for change. I'm certain, and I'm watching you guys in the chat thread understand that 2025 is about change. And this moment in time, it's really going to mark a moment in history where things change drastically. Not in a negative. I'm not speaking poorly or unfavorably. I'm speaking hopefully you can hear me come from change as new, exciting, more in alignment with who you are. Yay! You guys have got this. You can do it. I believe in you. All of you lunatics, the Luminaire lunatics unite. I don't know. Enjoy this energy. I hope to see you in our classes coming up, maybe some of our retreats. We do have 2 rooms left in Taos. If you and a friend want to learn some telepathy, come share a cabin. We'd love to have you there. And if you want to join us for our Archangel series, Chemuel is going to be in 40 minutes. That makes my palms sweat a little bit. Take care, everyone. Remember, this is not woo-woo. I know, it's true. Bye, guys. Be well. Bye.